Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Ty.
Together, we are hosting the NebraskaLand Bank Podcast. We promise this isn't some boring bank podcast.
That's right. We aim to entertain. Listen in every other Monday, and we'll tackle topics like finance, business, sports, community events, and maybe even a course or two of great food finds.
We're always community-minded.
Every voice.
Every topic.
Every time. So turn the volume up, settle in, and let's talk NebraskaLand. Hey, Danielle, we're here today in the podcast studio, and guess what? Our wellness challenge is almost over here at the bank. Is that we're right on the home stretch, right?
Yes, so thankful. This has been so needed. And although I have a lot of work left to do, it's definitely it's started the ball moving. Like I've got the momentum going. So I just have to keep at it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. You can go into a little more of the details because I think you know it better than I do. But this has basically been a 10-week challenge that our employees could voluntarily participate in. And they could also bring like a spouse or a guest, a team member in it too, right?
Yeah, we've got several spouses that are participating. One of our employees brought her mom on, and they could have even invited a friend. I don't think we have any friends this challenge, but it's 10 weeks in length. We've partnered with Traci Trainer of the Wellness Studio, who's also our guest today, but I'll do guest introductions here in a minute. But she's really helped us lead a healthy weight loss challenge. I know that when we first talked about this, it was a project that was generated from our wellness committee. And when we first talked about it, there were some concerns because a lot of times, corporate wellness challenges can turn into that episode of The Office. Do you watch The Office, Ty?
I think I've seen that episode. Yeah. And I know kind of the Dilbert cartoon for those of us.
Yeah. The lady who falls
comics.
over because she's eating tapeworms or something as a last ditch effort to lose weight. That's not what we're recommending here. And that's why we partnered with Traci, because she does such a great job of promoting lifestyle change and healthy weight loss. And so it's definitely been a good 10 weeks. And Jared, my husband, is participating, and in the 5 years of our marriage, I've never seen him exercise intentionally, and he's intentionally exercising and even running. So he's doing a great job.
I think that's his competitive nature. He wants to beat me, and he wants to beat some of the other employees here at the bank. And so the competition's fun because we're a pretty competitive group. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. To me, the biggest part of it has been how much I've learned about different food things and exercise things, a combination of all of it. And I'm doing well on some parts. There's other parts that I wish I was doing a little better on. If I had to grade myself at this point, I'm probably giving myself a B+ on the food side, maybe an A- if I was being optimistic. On the exercise side, I'm probably still C-ish, but I need to take that up a little bit of a notch. But I'm just going to keep going. At the end of 10 weeks, I'm going to keep going.
Good.
My goal is to lose a pound a week all summer. So that's my goal.
See, I'm flipped. I feel like I'm at a C on food, although C+ maybe, but I'm probably a little bit better on the movement. But that's always my struggle. I like cookies and ice cream. I just do. I like all of it. So it's such a struggle. Well, Jared and I are doing a Spartan race together on June 20th on Father's Day. And this is something that we had scheduled to do last year, and COVID happened. And so this is the rescheduled race. So last year I was ready for it. I was in better shape. And like I said, Jared's been exercising, but nowhere near what we need. So we're probably, I'm just praying we don't have heart attacks. Have you ever heard of a Spartan?
No, I don't know what a Spartan race is.
It's an obstacle course run, and they have different distances, but the sprint distance is anywhere between 3 to 5 miles. But you basically run from obstacle to obstacle. And it's things like they have the rope climb, or these 10 feet walls that you have to get over, or there's a mud pit that you have to climb through. It's the one that I did a few years ago was on an Army base. It's intense. It took me 2.5 hours of this intense workout. And I was trained for it at that time.
Wow.
Oh, so this time. And if you can't complete an obstacle successfully, you have to do 30 burpees.
This sounds like it could be rough. So
I'll report back.
I'm kind of anxious to see what our guest has to say about the Spartan race.
Well, speaking of our guest, I'm so excited to introduce Traci Cummings, or as I call her, Traci Trainer. Traci is a certified holistic health coach, personal trainer, and owner of The Wellness Journey. As Ty and I talked, she is leading us in a 10-week weight loss challenge. And I've actually been on and off with Traci for probably 10 years or longer. I've done her shred classes, bar classes, healthy eating boot camps. I keep coming back for more because she's truly that good. Traci, thank you for joining us on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you guys.
This has been a lot of fun. I've really learned a lot. I mean, when it comes to the health style world, I think you feel like you know some things, but until you get educated by somebody with your background, I've learned I know very little and I'm learning a lot. So
I'm always learning too. I'm always learning with you.
The trick is to follow what you're learning and not resist it. Because I find myself like, I know what I need to do, but I'm still like resistant to change sometimes. Like, no, I don't actually need to do that. Like I can do it just by cleaning up my diet or cutting out carbs at dinner. But truly the blood sugar balance and the healthy fats and all those things truly do make a difference for weight loss.
Right. But if you're not messing up, then you're doing it right if you're messing up. So just remember that, because it's trial and error and seeing what works for you. And we're all so busy. That's why I like to add the healthy doses, things you can do in your already busy life. Like everybody can drink water with lemon at their desk, or get up and do water in the morning, or some things that you can shift without having to add so much hours to your day or such a big change. And then they stick more. It's the small little changes that add up. So just keep doing small little things. We always want to do it all at once, right? And do all the things, but
I think
little doses.
Just staying patient too with the process, because like Ty, how much have you lost if you're willing to share in the challenge?
You know what's weird? I have lost exactly 1 pound per week. So we're 9 and some weeks in, and I'm like right dead on 9 pounds. And it's literally, I think I had 1 week flat and 1 week of 2, but otherwise it's been 1 per week. And so, but I think that ties in. I feel like I've really been doing well with eating. I've got to figure out how to make more time for exercise. That's my biggest challenge, because I think if I would have been a little harder core, but again, in my mind, this is a 6-month health challenge. So the 10 weeks is the start, and I'm going to just kind of continue, but I'm learning a lot. So anyway, I'm doing okay, but not, I was kind of hoping to be like 15, but
1 pound a week is awesome. Think about that if you keep doing it over that 6 months, right?
Yeah, that's the idea. Now I've got the whole world listening to my goals.
I know.
So now people are going to be like sizing me up as I'm walking around, and so I gotta follow through now.
Yes, you do.
I lost like 5 really easily in the beginning. And now it's like I'm playing with the same 3 or 4 pounds. I wish that we did weigh-ins on Fridays. Then I might actually...
Wow, that was a great idea. We should have thought of that 9 weeks ago.
Yeah, because on Fridays, it looks good.
Great all week.
But then it's like
weekend.
On Monday, it bounces right back up.
Yeah. But still that's shifting. Things are happening. So keep it up. And it's lifestyle. Like you said, this is a kickstart. So I hope that that's what everybody takes away and goes back and like adds different tools as they go, and getting your mindset in the right place. You talk yourself out of it. Like you said, oh, I don't need to do that part, or I'm too busy for this. But the mindset piece is huge.
Well, I think our employees are definitely having fun with it. Our bank president, Mike Jacobson, is actually doing the challenge, and he hopefully doesn't mind me sharing, but he's lost, I think the last time I heard was 25 pounds.
That's pretty awesome.
He's doing so great. So I think that there's definitely a lot of people that we're just learning a lot. And it's also a fun activity for us to kind of do together. I think it helps with the accountability, and we're definitely a competitive group. And so it's fun to poke fun at each other in the Facebook group. And
it is.
I'm kind of sad to see it end, because it's definitely, I think, helpful with the motivation.
My favorite piece was you two at the very beginning when you said, I got a spring haircut, a fresh haircut. How did you say it? It was so perfect.
I don't remember my exact quote, hilarious. But I was trying to be a little funny, even though it wasn't that funny.
It was funny because You're like, I got a haircut. I probably lost 5 pounds. And you're like, I looked at a donut. I probably gained 5 pounds. That was funny.
Yeah.
You guys are fun.
We do have a lot of fun around here. And I know wellness challenges at the corporate level can sometimes be kind of office spaces, or like the office, like you were talking about earlier. But I think that we're having a lot of fun with it because I think everybody just generally cares about each other here, and we're anxious to all learn. I want to hear more about your background, Traci. I mean, I've known you a long time, but how do you learn all this stuff?
I'm always in a class. And when COVID hit, I signed up for another nutrition class, and I'm always doing continuing ed. And I always have a coach myself to just keep me, pulling everybody else up too, keeping myself there. You got to work on yourself before other people will invest in you to work on them, right? So I'm just always learning too. And it's just frustrating because you can get sucked into all the new fads and fad diets. And this feels really good to understand the science of it and know what foods are doing to you. When we all want to jump on that quick fix, always go back to science. Always go back to the science.
I love that because as you've been posting things for us to digest, that helps me to think about this is why this works, or
Yes.
This is why you need to do this, or to break down what this thing does in your body. It helps.
Right.
It helps
you do it.
Yeah.
And stick to your goals. Like, oh, wow, if I'm going to eat the chips and salsa because we have a life and we get to have all those things. That's what life is about. But what is it doing in my body, and how can I rebalance out, or what can I do before so this doesn't sabotage my goals or my blood sugar where I have cravings, but I'm still losing weight and feeling good and feeling even energy. And that feels good. That's more motivating to me than, you ate the chips and salsa again, go run, the old stories that we've done. So
tell me more about Wellness Journey and where your business started and what inspired you to start and how you've kind of grown to where you're at today.
I went to college for exercise science. And then, first of all, my mother was a dance teacher, and she made me start teaching aerobics in high school. Step aerobics, that's how old I am. She kind of started it. My background's just been movement. My grandma was a dance teacher, my mom, so I just knew movement and naturally got a dance scholarship to Kearney, and then went to UNL and did exercise science. So I've started in corporate fitness. Interesting. And you guys have been the most fun group that I've done. I worked for Goodyear Tire and Rubber, the railroad, MPPD. So I've just done a lot. The Armory, a lot of corporate fitness stuff. And then found my way back here through life and started personal training, just a handful of people. I wasn't going to stick around too long. And then here I am. This has been a great place for me. North Platte's not so bad, is it? Community is pretty awesome.
Especially in 2021, as I talk to people from other parts of the world, they're pretty jealous of where we live right now. I don't want to take too much of your time on this because you got so many interesting things to talk about. But the pandemic, I mean, you're in one of those industries that was just shut down practically when the pandemic hit.
Yes.
But I know I've talked to you enough over the last couple of years that you never cried about it, and maybe you did a little bit, but privately. But you found different things to do and new energies. How did you go about that?
I figured out Zoom really quickly with the groups. I mean, sometimes I taught upside down. I'm not very techie. So they just stuck with me. And my older group even, that they figured it out. They jumped on and figured out Zoom, and we had a lot of trials and stress, but we did it. So I did most of my people either FaceTime or Zoom, a handful of them. And then the Beer in the Mile challenge happened. So the t-shirt sales and that kind of stuff was great. And then I do a lot of coaching groups like I do for you guys. I have coaching group and mastermind groups of different women, like 12 and 15 different groups like that going on all the time. Healthy eating boot camps. So the online space I had already kind of tapped into, just not to the extent that I did with nothing at the studio. But so thank goodness I had been doing that with my coaching for a little while. But it's kind of fun to figure out something different.
Is there anything that you put into practice during that time that you loved and you'll continue?
Well, we still are doing the 9:00 Zoom bar class, and I have people from out of state now in it.
Oh.
So
That's cool.
Yeah. So I got to figure out how to make that work for both, like where we go back to the studio and be able to still have them zooming in too.
So you've got your shred class and bar class, and you teach both of those.
Yep. We're back at 5:45 a.m. there.
Okay. And then what about, do you have any evening classes currently?
Nope, I don't. I go from 5:45 a.m. straight through till like 3. Then I always pick up my son and do the coaching groups after that, like coaching people.
And you mentioned Beer in a Mile. For anybody who, have you heard of Beer in a Mile, Ty?
I have heard of Beer in a Mile. I mean, it kind of caught my attention at beer. So Beer in a Mile sounds great.
That was the idea. Catchy.
It's catchy.
I did it last year. I signed up to do it this year and then I didn't get it done. But it's pretty incredible. And there's a lot of people. How many people did you have this year?
We had about 950 people this year.
Okay.
So that was
from all over too.
All over. Yeah. And the pandemic really was great for that last year. Like great for us to have that because people really needed something. So that hit at a time where we needed each other a lot.
Would you explain it? I'd like to hear the parameters of it again. I know I've heard it before, but
the beer is just to get your attention and to show you that you can reward yourself with small rewards, and have a balance. And it's 30 days. You do a mile a day, every day for 30 days. So if you miss, you have to start over. A physical mile. I get a lot of great questions about it. But yes, you have to actually move a physical mile. You can walk, jog, swim. Just can't drive your car. Ty, you have to move.
I know. I've been told even bike riding is kind of questionable at a mile. Like you should handicap it and go like 3 miles if you're on a bike or something.
Oh, that was your wife personal training.
Yeah, that's probably her interpretation of it.
She's going to push you to the max.
Yeah. That's right.
She's a good personal trainer for you.
Yeah, I know. I need to listen to her and you a little bit more.
But Spartan Race is a whole different thing.
It is. Hopefully I live to tell about it.
You will. But yes, just a physical mile every day for 30 days. So it's creating a habit and getting momentum going again, just like this program. And a lot of people keep going.
No, that's good. We've done in the past year at the bank, our wellness committee has had the Race to 1,000,000 Steps.
Oh, wow.
And that's always fun. You talk about that for a second, Danielle?
Yeah. So with Race to 1,000,000, we start generally, I think, in May. And then we run through June, July. I think we ran through the summer, but it's basically 3 months and you break into teams. And then the first team to hit 1,000,000 steps wins.
Cool.
And so generally we don't make it all the way through the 3 months. A team will hit the step maximum before that. But it's definitely fun. And that it's fun because it's, again, one of those things where like you see people like doing their steps throughout the bank, or you just see people up and a lot more active. A lot more people are taking the stairs and skipping the elevator.
And you're doing that now?
No, we're not doing it. Yep. I'm not sure that we're doing it this year. We're going to, I think, take a year off. Again, we have a very competitive group of people. Last year, it was insane the number of steps that people were getting in a day, like 20,000 steps. People were just really awesome. Doing a lot of movement. So we're going to take a year off, I think, and come back to it next year. Cool.
Yeah, I think as the wellness committee for the bank, you guys don't necessarily have something going on all the time, right? You'll do campaigns and then, so it's, I think you're trying to not be in the employee's face all the time with stuff, but to have occasionally things that promote wellness and get people to think about it.
Yeah. So. And so we've done, like in the fall, we'll do a blood screening through a wellness partner. And so anybody who wants to, they can come and have their blood taken and they'll do a full profile. So that's huge. That's great for our bank. And we kind of facilitate the flu shots and that kind of thing. And then we also try to look at opportunities to help with like mental health too, so that it's a very well-rounded program and not just all about weight loss.
You know how much I appreciate that. That's my mission, right? That's awesome. Like I said, I work with a lot of different corporates and you guys have been the most fun, and it's pretty awesome what you guys do for your employees and to keep you all healthy and kind of sticking together. It's pretty awesome.
Well, thank you.
Well, we've so much appreciated everything you've done to help us. We're hoping to help you a little bit today. That's one of our goals. Not that you need our help at all, but what kind of people should call you, Traci? I mean, as our listeners out there, what kind of customers are you looking for today, or what can you help people with, and how should they get a hold of you?
You can find me on Facebook or 308-530-7932, yourwellnessjourney.com. You can text or call or message me, and anybody that's just ready to feel better and be happier. We can even do just a session with a discovery call and kind of see where people are at and get a plan and kind of make sure that they're on the right road. They don't have to necessarily work with me all the time. But like I said, I have online programs. I have personal training in the studio, Pilates, boot camps, bar classes. So a lot of different things. So I like to see what's a fit for someone, like what goals they're wanting, what their time commitments are, their budget, and we work on a program for them.
What is it that you talk a lot about, the bio-individuality?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is that the way that food might work for Ty won't work for you necessarily. So we all do well with movement and sleep and finding things in our life that we love to do, right? And eating real food and water, all those basics. But then it comes down to bio-individuality, like what works for me specifically might not work for you. And that's where a coach is really good, because they'll help support you in a way that works for you. Like you have little kids and someone's kids are older, like your life is looking a little bit differently. So we just tailor it more to you, because one way of eating doesn't necessarily work for everybody, or exercise. And mindset, like you said. Mindset's a huge piece of it that we do in coaching. Getting your head in the right place and getting anchors that support your goals, right? Small anchors every week, right?
Yep. Anchor appointments. I learned about anchor appointments in this.
Job.
And
what are your anchor appointments this week, Ty?
I really struggle. I would tell you, schedule-wise, doing anchor appointments is almost impossible for me. But I guess I don't have any set for this week, but I should. But I try to do 2 mornings of exercise during the week.
That's awesome.
And then I can catch other times, after or on the weekends or different things. But I try to do 2 early mornings.
That's great.
But I travel a lot for work, and so it's hard to preset which 2 they are.
Every Tuesday.
Yeah, I can't say every Tuesday or every Wednesday or different things. But yeah, I guess if I can do 2 mornings, then that's usually a good platform for the rest of the week, because I'll catch enough other things otherwise to kind of get there. But that's the area I got to work on.
Well, that's perfect though. You anchored into 2 days. So 2 days, no matter what, you're doing it. That's what an anchor is, an appointment with yourself. So what are yours?
Mine is Fab 4. It's my favorite thing from
the
Fab 4 smoothie. And I think, and you might tell me I'm wrong, but I think I'm going to do it for breakfast and lunch this week.
Nope. I have people that do that.
Okay.
You just got to see how you feel.
Yeah.
Right.
So those are my anchors. I'm going to try to do breakfast, lunch.
That's probably because you're in week 9.
It is. It's my last ditch effort. I've got to I want to hit that 10-pound mark. So I've got to really
I like it.
Work hard this week.
And Fab 4, that's Be Well by Kelly. That's the coach that I work with in her books. And that's who I am coaching with currently. So you can find her, Be Well by Kelly. Yep.
And it's the Fab 4 is healthy fat, greens, protein, and fiber.
Good job.
I actually like the Fab 4 smoothies, and they're really good. They are really good. I mean, the vanilla protein powder and the chocolate's pretty good too. I think I like the vanilla a little bit in the chocolate, but the chocolate's good. Sometimes I cheat though. I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but I'll pour some coffee into my one with the chocolate. And I think I read that was okay in one of your posts. Yeah,
that's great.
That's what I've been doing every morning.
Then I like the chocolate one better.
I've been doing the vanilla.
That's a good idea.
So the first time that I tried the Fab 4, it was the healthy eating boot camp, and I had to choke it down. It was awful. But so it does take, I feel like, some experimentation to find the protein powder that you have in your studio is
yummy.
Game changer. That it's so good.
It really is better than most of them I've tried.
You do have to have the right protein.
Choking down, and this one it's so easy to drink. And so I'm doing the mocha creamy or whatever. So it's half a cup of coffee and then coconut milk. And this is so weird, but grass-fed butter. I thought that was so strange. It felt really weird putting that in my smoothie. And I can't find the acacia fiber. So I've been using flax.
Good. That's awesome.
And then it has MCT oil, which I'd never even heard of.
I'm so proud of these two.
It's so good.
You want me to share my favorite Fab 4 recipe?
Yeah.
See, then you'll know I'm actually like doing this because I like
impressed.
it. But the one I like is almond milk with or without coffee. I add ice to mine. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but I add some ice to mine. The spinach, avocado, the chia seeds, and the protein powder. And that's my recipe. And the avocado seems so weird going into a vanilla breakfast smoothie.
Right.
But it
just makes it creamy, doesn't it?
It's actually better with it, which is strange. One time I forgot my avocado and just wasn't awake and forgot it. And I'm like, oh, this isn't right.
Doesn't taste as creamy and
not
filling.
The same. The avocado's good.
Good job.
Yeah.
So proud of you guys. So I'm triviaing you.
Oh, yay.
So why is that better to add your coffee with your Fab 4?
Because it slows it down so it doesn't hit your bloodstream so fast. Because caffeine can do some funny things
the
to blood sugar.
Slower, yes. So then you don't have cravings later. Because coffee's not necessarily bad. That's an bio-individuality thing too. Like if you have a lot of anxiety or can't sleep, maybe you'd go less on coffee. But caffeine is not bad for everyone. But it just slows the absorption. So you're not putting yourself into blood sugar havoc where you're you're craving something or thinking you're hungry or anxious or any of those things. So good job.
See, I think there's a little mental science of me adding some coffee to it too, because it's kind of like I'm used to drink coffee first thing in the morning. It's habitual. And it's like, okay, I'm bucking the system a little bit, add some coffee to it.
I love it.
So
that's awesome.
Got to do that.
Didn't you add zucchini once too?
Yep. One time I couldn't find an avocado, and instead of knocking on the neighbor's door early, I just used a zucchini and it was fine.
I love it. Great ideas. Proud of you guys.
It's been to your credit, Traci, it has really been great and very educational.
Well, thank you. But you're good students. You're a good crowd.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be sitting here today and be able to kind of tell you the difference between an acellular and a cellular carbohydrate.
So
but
proud
I can,
of you.
And so I've learned a lot.
I'm proud of you. Yeah. Good job.
It is, though, learning about the different foods. And I think part of my resistance in the past has been okay, so a carrot is a cellular, right? Mm-hmm. Carb. But it's it's a freaking carrot.
Right.
Right. If I'm going to eat a carrot.
It should be good for you.
Right. I should be able to eat as many carrots as I want. And so that's where my brain starts to fight with, or banana or fruit. I love fruit.
Right.
So it's easy for me to eat fruit. And I'm I'm just going to eat the fruit. It's fine. It's a fruit. It's, know, but when you're trying to lose weight, these rules really do apply.
And you're right though. That's healthy and gives me nutrients and a good substitute rather than a cookie or a candy bar. Right. But just knowing what it does to your blood sugar while you're trying to hit those goals. So, okay, I can have it with this and this to slow that curve down. Good job. But you're right. It's still nutritious and healthy. Carrot or cookie?
Carrot.
Carrot.
Although I did eat the cookie last night after dinner.
I love it. Good job.
Traci, I've got to ask you this. You're running a busy business and obviously you're super hands-on every day. Your husband, John, runs a great company in town too. John's a drywall and framing specialist here in the community and does a fantastic job in the construction world.
Thank you.
And you guys have a son too, and he's kind of an athlete.
Yes, he plays hockey. And
he's a busy kid. I don't know very many hockey players, so he's one of a handful of youth hockey players that I know, and he's good at it too.
Of course, he likes something that we get to drive back and forth for, but it's fun. It's fun.
So how do you manage, you guys have two businesses and a busy son, yet you maintain a very healthy lifestyle, you and John do personally, and how do you manage all that? How do you keep organized?
A lot organization for sure. A lot of lists. And I have it's helpful when you have your family on board with you, where, with your husband doing it with you or your wife doing it with you, that helps a lot. So we do our meal planning, just the same tips that I give you guys. I live by those too. Meal planning. I'm always hounding them about water on Jalen's little to-do list when he woke up today. Water, choose a healthy breakfast. But I try to, not nag at them to do it with me, but show them how do you feel? How'd you feel when you ate this? Or how was your energy all day? Or that kind of thing. So I'm not pushing it on them all the time, but we're kind of doing it together. And it's really just planning and also having those free moments where we're going to go out to eat and we're going to have a couple drinks and not be so structured, or you can go the other way with everything. So making sure to have that balance of fun scheduled in our life and a little downtime and a free night of eating where we want. And that meal plan really helps too. Like just schedule and small habits, like small habit stacking, right?
I love habit stacking. You need to talk about habit stacking because that's a lesson worth learning for people.
That habit stacking is piggybacking a new habit on something that you already do all the time, like brushing your teeth. So I want to start drinking water every morning. So I put water beside my toothbrush. So there's the habit of I go brush my teeth. The water's right there. I start drinking it for my day. So that's habit stacking. Did you do any habit stacking?
I did it with the water. So you touched on the water. I've always naturally needed to just drink more water in the day. I mean, I know you're supposed to do that, and I just never have really.
Right.
But habit stacking has really, really helped me with that. Yep. So like, for example, when first thing in the morning, when I'm kind of organizing my day and all that, it's a full bottle of water at that point or a full big cup of water or whatever. And so no, the habit stacking is a really interesting concept to take something you do every day and then add something to it. It works. It really works.
Does.
I kind of baby stepped into my morning workouts through habit stacking. So I'm not a morning person. Traci can attest to that.
She's not. 5:45 a.m. is early for everyone.
But. Tough. But so to get back into kind of the habit of getting up at that time in the morning, I first that's exactly what I did. I would just set my alarm and I would just get up and do reading and drinking my coffee and water first and then coffee, to where I got kind of in the habit of getting out of bed. And then I added in actually getting dressed and going out and working out. But like initially it was like too much. So I had to baby step it.
That's awesome. And back to the question with your life, our life changes too so much, like each chapter with little kids, because I saw you with the stroller all the time last year, right?
Yeah.
So then when they get a little bit bigger, then I make some of my workouts with Jalen, like let's go ride bikes together or something like that. So I'm getting my workout in, but still having fun with him and getting him to see like, oh, movement can be fun. So back to your question and habit stacking, it does change too. Like when the chapters in your life change, you've got to do some new habit stacking and figure it out, right?
So is your son ever like, hey, I'm the kid who's like, mom is nutritionist, like, everybody's bringing their sack lunch and everybody's got all this. And then mine has like all the vegetables and stuff. What's that like? What's that like for him?
He likes to go stay the night with my sister. And then he goes, hey, eating marshmallows for breakfast. Ha ha. But so trying to get that balance too, because you don't want to go the other way where you can't have a marshmallow, right?
Right.
So I'm just trying to teach them like the science of it.
That's cool. Just for the record, Jackie and I actually attended country dance lessons in her mom's studio back in the day.
Did you really?
Many years ago. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you still have moves?
Well, I don't know. I could still probably remember some of them. But yeah, this is when we were in high school. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So I remember your mom's studio.
Yes.
That was a cornerstone business here in North Platte for a long time.
Yep.
I didn't know that you were a dancer.
Yes.
I learned something new about you today.
You did. Yep. That's like my grandma, my mom. So it was all just, you moved. Yep.
Well, speaking of learning things about her, I think we need to put her on the spot with trivia. Are you ready? Are we ready for trivia time?
I don't know.
Are you ready, Traci?
I bet you're going to do pretty well.
Yeah. So as a reminder for our listeners, we end each episode with a game of trivia. So I've got 3 questions for you. If you get 2 of the 3 correct, you win $100 to donate to a charity of your choice. If you get the majority wrong, then we keep the $100 and we roll it over to our next episode where our next guest can play for $200.
Sweet. I like it. I'm not great at trivia, but
I chose popular fitness icon trivia for you today. She's mouthing thank you.
Like, okay, maybe
I'm taking it easy on you. These shouldn't be horribly difficult, hopefully. This one had Yvonne and I rolling of laughter in our office because we looked up a YouTube video. It was great. What product did Suzanne Summers promote in the early 90s?
The Thigh Master.
Wait, she didn't even pause.
I know.
I was already thinking of yeah. Did you use it?
No, I didn't. But so in the video, it's so cheesy. Oh my goodness. Do yourself a favor and go out and YouTube infomercial for ThighMaster. It is so funny.
I will. That's
and
hilarious.
So she looks at the camera and she's like, we may not have been born with great legs, but now we look like we were.
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny.
I'm totally going to look it up. That's hilarious.
Okay. Our next question. Who starred in the Sweatin' to the Oldies 90s aerobics videos?
Was it Jane Fonda?
No. I should have given another dressed in all kinds of unique attire.
Guy?
Richard. Got it.
Richard
Simmons. Yes.
Yeah, Richard Simmons. I forgot about him.
Yeah, what happened to Richard? Did you Google him too?
I did, but I don't know. It didn't say
there's I think it got kind of ugly for him. I don't remember the circumstances, but
that's right.
Okay. So we're still.
I got to do one more, right?
Okay. Yep. Okay. So what was the name of Olivia Newton-John's hit single in the 80s that depicted her as a fitness icon?
Let's Get Physical.
You got it.
You picked great trivia. Thanks. That was fun.
Well, you're officially a winner. So you get to tell us what charity of your choice that you'd like us to donate $100 in your name to.
That is pretty awesome. Thanks. I'm going to go with the Children's Museum since I've just retired from the board there for a while. I'd like to help them one more time.
That's wonderful.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll be pleased to give them that donation. We're all really proud to work for NebraskaLand Bank, and the wellness challenge is just an example of that, isn't it, Danielle?
It is. I mean, there are so many reasons why this is just an incredible organization to work for. And we've got multiple committees. Wellness committee is one of them, but we've got our culture committee and fun committee and a yearbook committee. I mean, there's just our no payday Thursdays are a good example. Those are going to start up next week. Right, Ty?
Yep, they are. We're actually going to have a little bit, sorry to close your ears, Tracy, but we're going to have a little bit of a chicken wing grill off among some of the loan officers for our No Pay Thursday next Thursday. And so that will be an example of pushing our diet a little bit and then needing to adjust for it, I think, afterwards. But it's fun. It's great to be able to get our team back together again. The pandemic's been long.
Yeah.
So.
We, the last 2 years in a row, have actually won Best Bank to Work For by American Banker, which is a huge honor because this is a national award that we receive, and they run the nomination, and they do anonymous surveys with your employees, and they factor in all kinds of different aspects and select, I think it's 85 banks nationwide, and I think we were like 14 or somewhere on the list this year.
That is awesome.
So it's absolutely a huge honor, but I think it's just a testament to how great it is to work here.
You guys are all over too. We appreciate everything you always do. You guys always rally for us with fundraisers and everywhere. So thanks. And I like banking here. I'm not going to lie.
Well, we like having you guys bank here. We appreciate that. No. And we thank you so much. You couldn't have done a better job for us on all this. We very much appreciate it. We encourage the listeners to call you and to utilize the services you have available. North Platte's not that big of a community, and you're bringing the kind of quality service that you see in the metro areas, and we appreciate that a lot.
I appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
Well, today's episode is brought to you by NebraskaLand National Bank. We are member FDIC and equal housing lender. Learn more about our podcast at NebraskaLandBank.com/podcast. And if you enjoyed the episode, subscribe to the show, leave us a review, and find us on Facebook. Thanks for listening to the NebraskaLand Bank podcast. Community-minded, every voice, every topic, every time.